up? I'm Tom Karangelov, and this is my unofficial pals questions. I'm just gonna go through this. So, Monkey McPot, who started this thread, he wants to know the history between me and Nino Brown. So pretty much ever since kind of 1 in a Million, I've had things come out, and every now and then I'll go check them, or I'll check random things on Slap because you guys are fucking good at finding all the little secrets. And this guy is always talking shit, and then he's always talking shit on me. So I'm thinking this guy must really like me or something, and I must know who this. I'm pretty sure I know who this guy is, but like I don't. I've never met him. He's never been like I'm Nino Brown or anything, but I'm sure I've run into him, and that's why he hates me so much. But it's pretty awesome that he hates me. Monkey McPot also wants to know the best falafel spot in Long Beach. It's Hippie. It's right by my house, so maybe I'll run into you there and we can get a falafel. What's it like skating for/with Brad? Skating for Brad, so skating for Skate Mental, is pretty interesting. There's not too much responsibility. He doesn't really do ads or videos, so you kind of just do whatever you want. There's no pressure. He's just a crazy guy that like has a million ideas bouncing around in his head, and he kind of lets you do whatever as like a business owner. But skating with Brad's even sicker because he's just like insane. Like he'll yell crazy shit, he'll like have the best time just skating whatever. But he's definitely a trip, and a lot of people probably wouldn't like being around him, but a lot of people really like being around him. He's just a good time. Like if you're uncomfortable in front of a dude that's walking around naked or like biting his toes, then you're not gonna like being around Brad. But if you like laughing at a dude like that, you're gonna like that a lot. And almost every idea I've ever had, he kind of is really cool about making like a board with, like he'll ask me like, how do you feel about this? And I'll be like, yeah, I don't really like it. And he'll be like, oh, you're such a pussy or something. And then he'll still do it, or like he'll change it a little. So I don't know, it's pretty awesome. I guess it's like no pressure and fun to ride for Skate Mental. Merge wants to know, what was the best part of skating for Xero? The best part of skating for Xero is getting to go on trips with dudes like John Rattray and Keegan Sauter. I always looked up to them and like what they brought to Xero and what they brought to skating. And I always just looked up to them to go on trips with dudes like that. And even Jamie Thomas, who when you're a kid, he's like the holy grail of skaters to go. And I always loved his style and like what he chose to do on the skateboard. So to go on trips with a person like that is like really cool, and you get to learn a lot from people like that. He also wants to know what was the worst part of skating for Xero. The worst part, I think, is back then and even today, people are always like expecting kind of me to grind like a big rail or skate some crazy gap. When I always thought like why I was stoked to ride for Xero was to like bring something new to Xero, which I feel like at that time especially they didn't have. So I always thought that was cool, and that's why I liked like John Fitzgerald skating for Xero. Donovan skated for Xero. I feel like they just brought different things to Xero, and I thought that was really cool. Tuna wants to know if there's any good stories from hanging with David Bones at the Burton store back in the day. I recall some old vids on YouTube of you guys, Logan Laura, and I think Adrian Adrid being somewhat locals there. I never even went to the Burton store, even though I did get Gravis and Analog. But I did skate with David and Logan and Adrian and Sam Moeller kind of a lot growing up. So I always looked up to those guys. David Bones obviously like looks incredible on a skateboard. So just seeing that in real life was really cool and inspiring. And Logan would always film those dudes and make like the sickest edits on YouTube. And I think like me and my friends really looked up to those. And I still look up to what Logan makes. He makes really good skate videos. What's the weirdest way you've discovered a spot? Ever find a spot in the background of someone else's footage? Okay, the weirdest way I've ever discovered a spot is I came home from skating probably around 4 or 5, and I leave the TV on for my dog, and on the TV was like breaking news of something happening in West Covina. So there was a news anchor like, "Hi, I'm here at West Covina Courthouse," and in the back of where she's talking, there's a ledge into a rock. And I'm sitting there, like, looking at the TV, like, there's a fucking ledge into rock. that I've never seen anybody skate, and I discovered it on the news. But of course, we went there and it was really gnarly. But it's possible. Gay wants to know, please share your hair care regimen and routine with us. I'm hairstyle illiterate, but trying to grow my hair out, and you're my hairspiration. Alright, Gay, so in the morning when you wake up, if your hair is wet, blow dry on cool. You don't want to use hot. It might burn your hair. So blow dry on cool. Very slowly. Get it nice and dry. And then if you have flyaways or frizz, use frizzies. And then I was thinking about it more. And if you're trying a ledge line that day, use this curler. Your hair will look great curled in a ledge line. So Trick Flip wants to know, have you used any tools to unknob or make a spot skatable? So I have this tool. It's like a mini crowbar. Probably used it to take off every knob that I've ever been to. And it's so small, you can put it in your pocket. So if you're like, I have to hide from people, boom, put it in the pocket. And then this thing, I feel like no one uses this. It's for car mufflers. But you can adjust it to whatever size you need. And then put it around the rail. And just go like that around the rail. And you could take off any rail with this thing really quick and quiet. These are the tools that I use. Alright. Trick Flip also wants to know, if so, do you have any good stories? So the one story that comes to mind is during the filming for Keeping the Flame, like my last Thrasher part, I 50-50 this ledge, hippie jump a rail to 50-50 a metal curb. And to make that possible, the ledge has been knobbed forever. It's like a OG Santa Ana skate spot. So I went there at night really late, and I noticed there was a security car driving around. So I parked by the ledge, and I would wait till the cart went around the building completely, and I'd get out, like boom, 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 boom. Like one knob would come off. Security cart's coming back around. Oh fuck, back to my car. Chilling in the car. Security cart goes back around. I get out, boom, boom, boom. And if you look at the footage closely, the knobs aren't fully off. They're just like spun down because I didn't have enough time to like take them all off. So I'm thinking like, oh, it's going to work perfect. So then as I'm trying the trick, like next day, like I pretty much go the next day. As I'm trying the trick, I like get in crooked and I hit one of the knobs and I go flying into the handrail and I fully broke the handrail with my body. I thought I was dead in midair, but I completely broke the handrail. And it sucks because I did the trick like a couple tries before, but I kind of did it sketchy. So I was hoping like, oh, maybe I can get a better one. And then that fucking happened. Snowman600 wants to know, did Terry Kennedy lend you his chain? Very Shalom of you. He fucking didn't lend me the chain and he didn't even like the photo. Sucks. One day I'll get the chain though. Tort Feaster wants to know, were you rude to the guy at the Cherry Park coffee shop? Is that coffee shop any good? And have you been back there since? Did you not tip him? Alright, I don't think I was rude to the guy at the coffee shop, but maybe if it was early enough. Is that coffee any good? I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. Have you been back there since? I go there a lot, kind of. Still, always will. And I actually met Monkey McPot there to meet him. We had coffee there. Did you not tip him? I tipped him for sure. Free Whirl. I went to Pepperdine University, so I was super hyped when you 5-0'd that hubba in your Cold War part. I'm surprised I haven't seen more people skate that. Do you know of any other noteworthy pros who skated it? Love you. Oh, thank you. So, funny story there is when I would go to Black Box to get Xero boards or do whatever, Ben Geely was like the warehouse manager, and he would tell me like, yeah, Tom, me and Heath Kirchart would ride around on motorcycles and look at spots at schools. We'd drive right up to like pretty much anything, right on our motorcycles, go through grass, drive upstairs, like do whatever. And I was like, fuck, that's really cool. Because obviously being from Orange County, Heath Kirchart's like someone we all like really like, and Ben Gilly's like a legend as well, you know. Everyone liked him when we were growing up because he was so gnarly. So like to hear that these two dudes would do that was almost like magical. And I remember him saying specifically, we drove up to Pepperdine on our motorcycles. So then I'm thinking, what's at Pepperdine? And one day I just drove out to Malibu. We were skating. I was probably with Logan or somebody. And I'm like, what's at Pepperdine? And I just skated through the whole school. And the hubba and minefield that Heath Kirchart front boards is that hubba. So Heath Kirchart skated it before me. So I was like, fuck, man, this is so cool. Like, no one skated this hubba except Heath. It just, like, makes the spot that much more special that a pro skater you like skated it. So I'm like, fuck, I'm going to pay, like, some homage to Heath and try to skate this thing, even though it was probably way out of my... It was really scary for me, but I ended up 5-0ing it because I feel like that trick for me works good on hubbas. But I ate shit into the stairs. Heath ran up them, which was sicker, I feel like. So there you guys go. Another fucking thing you guys can say about me and Heath. Krillfish to Revert wants to know, off the top of your head, please list all the pro skateboarders named Tom. Okay. Tom Knox, Tom Green, Tommy Guerrero, Tommy Sandoval, Tom Penny. That's all I could think of. My name is not Jeff. Won the giveaway contest. Favorite wall ride you've ever done? So my favorite wall ride that I've ever done is probably this one in Santa Ana. It's in this park, and it's in this part called High Tide that my friend Matt made, and it's over a door handle. And I was just really stoked on that wall ride because I grew up in Santa Ana, so my grandpa would walk me to that pool, I think like multiple summers in a row to teach me how to like swim. He'd pay $1 and like you just go swim. So I kind of learned how to swim at this pool. Decades later, I went and I looked at this pool and I'm like, oh my god, there's a wall ride at this pool. This is insane. I like had to do it no matter what, so I ended up doing that, and that's just my favorite wall ride because it reminds me of my grandpa. Okay, Curb Slayer wants to know, pole jam or Wally? There can only be one. Wally, but you could Wally a pole. You can't pole jam a wall. So I'm picking Wally. D wants to know, least favorite trend at the moment. Okay, I think my least favorite trend in skateboarding right now is when these people go on trips or film forever for video parts or even tour videos, but they're not edited. Like, it's like a new way of editing where you look like you don't edit videos. And I don't really know why, but that shit just pisses me off. It's just like, spend some time like editing the video and making these dudes look good. And I get just like showing the vibe and how it really is and cruising around and stuff, but there's something about editing a video correctly from like the time period I come from that I really like Welcome to Hell, just something about that and that vibe. So when I don't see videos edited fully, it just is like annoying to me. My name is not Jeff wants to know, do people ever ask you for your setup? If so, what's the weirdest place or least opportune time someone has asked you? People kind of ask you, usually like at a demo or something, but I was skating this spot at Cal State Fullerton, completely hidden, like it's like pretty much underground, and this kid somehow like walks upon the session, and he's just like, whoa, Tom, what's up, dude, nice to meet you. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of cool, like some college student just found me skating, and he just chilled the whole time. I was even like, hey, can you watch for cops for me? So he was like part of the trick, I guess. So I ended up doing the trick, but I kind of tweaked my ankle, and I was just thinking like, fuck, man, this dude would probably be so hyped if I just gave him my skateboard. So he asked for like a photo with me, but I was just like, you can have my skateboard. So he didn't really ask for it, but I could kind of tell like he'd be stoked. So after landing a trick on the weekend out of college, I gave some random kid my skateboard. Alright, White Country Singer wants to know, can you tell us about writing for Xero and filming for Cold War? It's probably one of my favorite parts, especially given the music choice. Did you pick the songs? So yeah, I did end up picking the music for my part, which I feel like I'm pretty lucky to be able to do that because I know music's really expensive and stuff. You learn about like Joy Division when you watch Donnie Darko, so you learn about it in like 6th, 7th grade. So just up until my parents lost their house, I guess I was just listening to Joy Division a lot. And I feel like The Kill, the song I used by Joy Division, hadn't been used, and I was like thinking like, well, this is kind of like a Cuddy Joy Division song, so I really like it. And then I picked the Fugazi song, but I didn't think Jamie Thomas would go for it because it's kind of like a ballad. But he like ended up really loving it, and he talked to Ian Mackay about using it, and Ian Mackay let Jamie Thomas and me use I'm So Tired. I'm forever thankful that Jamie like bought those songs for me. It was really cool of them. So White Owl wants to know, Biggie or Tupac? Machiavelli. Double Steve Berger wants to know, do people talk about slap in the van? I think people do talk about slap in the van. You guys kind of find things that are almost like secret in skating, like things I don't even know about. So when someone learns about like somebody on a new company or somebody quitting, it's like a thing that gets brought up and everyone goes like, how do you know that? How do you know that? And then always it goes back to like, oh, I read it on Slap. And it's like skaters, I feel like that you guys wouldn't even think do that. So it's kind of interesting. And then he also wanted to know, how many pictures of Heath do you have saved on your iPhone? I actually don't have any photos of Heath saved on my iPhone, but I have this in my house. Kind of cool. Alright, and then the last question I wanted to answer is, Nog Champa wants to know, who are you? If you get stuck, you can fill in this frame. I'm just a blank who blank, so I'll fill it in. I'm just a slap pal who goes by the name of Nino Brown. Thanks again, Slap, for having me. And Nino Brown, you're still a bitch. Where you at?